Hey YouTube, it's Normal Life. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to tell you that literally godlike settings, how to play like a professional. And this is what professional players use, these settings within tournaments, and this is going to basically make your aim like an aimbot. Now, I've come across these settings because I watch a lot of Twitch. I speak to a lot of Twitch players and ask them what do they use, what settings do they use, and they've told me they've displayed it on their Twitch channels, and I changed my settings, guys, and I will never ever look back. These settings will make you win most of your gun battles, depending if you've got the advantage or not, and it is such a great tip to use. We're going to get straight into it, guys, but if you do like what you see in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Write any comments below as well what you think of these settings, and also I'm going to show you some gameplay at the end, me using the settings, how dominant it is. So we're going to go through the settings now, guys. Now, these are all going to be absolutely fine. Most of them on default, but I'm going to tell you the ones that you need to change. So the first one you want to change is your dead zone. Dead zone has got to try and be as loose as possible so you have full control of your shooting. But you need it to have it, obviously have it not too loose, because you're going to have with your controller, and everyone has a dodgy controller, a bit of analog drift. So I've got mine on 0.6. So what you want to do really is just simply go on your map. If you see your analog stick moving, the marker moving, just literally bumping up the sensitivity till the first it stops. Okay, so mine stopped at 0.6, but I don't want it up to 10, which most YouTubers have suggested, or any higher, because it will take longer to snap onto target. So you want it as loose as possible, but to stop that drift as well. Your horizontal and vertical settings need to be roughly 5.5 or 6.6. You can go higher, but you're just going to lose more of control of your shots. You want it basically with porridge, the Goldilocks, just right. It can't be too stiff, too slow, and it can't be too loose, because you want to get 100% of your aim towards your targets, especially if they move. So 5.5 I found best for me. Sometimes I jump up to 6.6, but I'll roughly go back to 5.5. And this is the most important part with the ADS low zoom and high zoom, is to have it quite low. The settings are usually around about 1.0, but I'm gonna have it 0.85, and the high zoom has to be higher than the low zoom, so I've had it 0.88. The reason why you need this, guys, it will help you snap onto your targets very, very quickly without that animation when going down aim down sight. So you want to try and have settings like these. This is what I've seen a pro player use, the 0.85 and the 0.88. I used it, and literally it looks like I snap onto each target as I go. And trust me, guys, you will notice a big difference by changing your ADS. The next things which makes you look like you're snapping in onto people, look like you're hacking the game, is the aim response curve type. You want it dynamic. That's what makes you shift to one person to the next, and having good ADS, but also locking onto your targets at the same time, especially when they are moving. Obviously, control of vibration you want disabled. With aim assist, this is all about preference. A lot of different pro players use either standard or they use precision. For me, it's got to be standard, because I think precision and focusing, which one pro player was using, talking about really, was if you use precision and focusing, the aim down sight or the aim assist is too strong and stops you trying to push to the next player. So you want it just balanced right, just at standard, so don't really tamper too much of that. Obvious ones that you probably know already is your reload and use, is the contextual tap. That's what you got to have. You obviously probably do know that. One thing, and this is what a lot of players don't have, they probably don't realize they got it checked, is armor plates. I didn't realize, I don't know if they updated it, but armor plates behavior, I put apply all. That means I get all of my plates, what I've got spare, back on, because I'll have to keep pressing the triangle button or Y on the Xbox to get all of my plates back on each time. But if you press it once, it'll just put them all on for you, so you don't have to press another button. So it kind of releases a thumb or a finger that you need to have. Actually, you don't really press triangle when you think, it's usually your thumb. But yeah, so guys, make sure you got that to apply all, because that'll make a big difference. Next, you want behavior slide to be tap, just because it's so much easier to try and get out of situations, to move just by tapping instead of holding. But this is the biggest for me. This is the one that changed my performance and basically gets me more kills. The way I move is the automatic sprint. It has to be, guys, trust me on this, it has to be tactical sprint. You just, if you don't feel comfortable just even looking at that, just try a game of Plunder, do an automatic or tactical sprint, and you will notice a massive difference how you can move and outperform your opponents if they're trying to go against you. The reason why you want tactical sprint is if you use an analog stick, you have to use your press in your analog stick to try and get one of the type of sprints, either the normal sprint, but you have to press it again to get tactical. So it's quite hard to get the sprint that you want because you've got to press in the analog. With this, it does it automatically for you. So as soon as you move forward, it'll do the fastest sprint that you need, and that's what you want, because in Warzone you need to move quickly to cover, to shoot, get out of the situation, reposition, shoot them again. Automatic tactical sprint is the best thing ever that I've known out of all of these tips that a pros taught me. But you're probably shouting at me, what about if you want to sneak up to somebody? You're going to just sprint and give your position away. It's simple. All you got to do is press circle, or is it B on Xbox, and crouch. All you gotta do is crouch walk, and you won't do an automatic sprint. Okay, so that's how you stop getting them footsteps heard. So you want to probably crouch. But guys, use automatic tactical sprint. Just use it, because that is the best thing ever. So they're the aiming and movement settings. They're the most dominating things. These are the little things just to cover, so you to help your gameplay. Really, is I have my brightness on 60 so I can see every dark corner, because people with a rose skin, they are a pain to feel. I use it myself, so is what it is. The film grain, you want to make sure you got the lowest, so haven't got that blur. These are the things you probably know already, guys. The colorblind type that you want is Dutia Ranopia. That's a very, very hard word to say. Basically, that's going to make everything pop and see the enemies more clearly, because if they've got a bright coloured coat, or it's more red, or sticking out rows as well, you'll find her easy to find. These are going to make everything nice and bold with the colours. Okay, and this is obviously for colourblind players, but it actually helps you see things better as well. So take advantage of that setting. Obviously, motion blur you want off, unless you're playing campaign, guys. That's the only time you want motion blur, really. And then finally, that you probably already know, is your minimap. You need square, so you can see more of your minimap and see more enemies. And the final tip with the audio, the best one for me to hear footsteps is low boost. I think this one's been around for a while to hear everything. A lot of people do say home theater as well, but for me, low boost just basically cancels out any other sounds, so I can just hear footsteps. So if you want to look like an aimbot while using these settings, is center your crosshairs up level, not looking down. If you do this, when you look towards an enemy, you will literally look like you're aiming towards their head, and you can lock straight into them. And so as you can see, I'm centering my crosshairs, and that's how I get easy kills. Do not put your crosshairs down like this, because it'll take time to look up, aim down sight, and you'll probably aim for the legs first and get low damage. So guys, center your crosshairs when you go around corners as well, because you'll lock straight into targets, you'll snap straight into them, and you just get easy kills. It looks like you snap into each opponent like that. So guys, do them settings, do what I said with the crosshairs as well, and you will see a massive difference to your gameplay. You'll get more kills and hopefully get that win on top. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. You can decide, and write your comments below what you think. If you've got any extra settings you want to tell me as well, and subscribe. I'll see you all in my next video.